What's up, everyone? I'm the Nature Hacker, and this is your world. So first off, I just want to say, make sure to hit that bell on I guess it's on this side of your screen, right? Hit that bell, because whenever I go live, if you have that bell hit on me, not only subscribe, but hit the belled me, then you will get notifications as soon as I go live, so you'll be able to tune right in and see me live if you want to do that. So I just learned that, so I just think that's a fun thing. If you want to hit that bell, you'll see me instantaneously live when I go live. I think I'm going to keep going live. I kind of like it. It's easy. All I have to do is just hit a single button and I'm going, and it automatically uploads it and everything, so I do like it. You know, it's less censorable, I feel like, stuff like that. So anyway, what I want to talk today about is game nostalgia. I've been feeling this for a long time, ever since I quit playing EverQuest 1, and I kind of have this secret project on the side, you know, my own EverQuest server, but, you know, I've definitely got that on back burner right now, and because it's like, I could never really get past level 30, you know, and there's like, you know, 50, 60 levels in the game, you know, the base game, you know, the game kept expanding to get more and more levels up to like 100 and something now, but I never really get past level 30, and I still haven't, you know, even with my own server and stuff. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, the nostalgia is greater than my desire to actually play. It's like the desire to play is separate from the nostalgia. And what I'm starting to see now is I have this feeling of nostalgia, but no actual game to me nostalgic about. You know, I'm nostalgic about EverQuest. Like, I had a lot of great memories playing EverQuest. You know, I was very young. I was only 13 at that time, so you know, I didn't have the money to keep paying subscription fees and all of that. So I never really got hardcore, like, raid scene guilds and stuff. I was too young for that. I just remember just the amazingness of the world, and just a sense of solitude, but also a sense of community. You know, you could just be out there and just be in solitude, just feel like, and I always was kind of like that as a kid too, like, sometimes, like, you know, it's weird, but it's strange, and you don't want to hear too much TMI and what I'm going to say right now, but if I kind of had to go poop, I would just kind of sit there and just kind of almost like the feeling of needing to go, or kind of feeling like I was alone in solitude or something like that. And, you know, in games, I got that solitude feeling of just being in the world, you know, when the day-night cycle was happening, you know, the sun was slowly moving across the sky, and when it goes down, the moon is slowly going, and it's dark, and it's just very immersive, and there's these little things, it's the attention to detail in games that really get you immersed, and especially as a young kid, you know, as a young adult, child, whatever, you just get, like, enthralled by it, you know, just like, wow, like, how amazing is this, you know, it's amazing to you. And then you find friends who help you, and they're like, hey, come with me, I'm going to help you level up and stuff, and people just really helping you out, and just a great feeling. So, you know, yeah, you know, kind of nostalgic about, but there's a lot of games in nostalgic. I'm nostalgic about Heroes of Might and Magic 2, playing that with my best friends, staying up all night, sleepovers, playing that. You know, Richard Petty's Stock Car Racing or something from the Super Nintendo, I think. I never had a Super Nintendo, but we played it at his house, basically like where you could upgrade your car, you could get roll cage in your car to improve it, you could get a turbocharger in your car, you know, just that kind of role-playing aspect of improving your character, improving your car, whatever it is, the improvement, you know, playing Phoenix, the game Phoenix on my TI-86 calculator in high school. Phoenix, where you're this little spaceship going through, shooting down space enemies. You'd collect monies. You would be able to buy upgraded weapons. That's the type of game I like, is like the continual progression games, which is the RPG. I would just say that is what an RPG is. It's a game where you can continually progress. And I was definitely very nostalgic. You know, I'm nostalgic about all these games. About Might and Magic 6. I love that game. About Diablo 2. About Planescape Torment. Diablo 1, all of these types of games, very nostalgic about. And it's not just that I want to go play them. I don't really want to play them, because they're challenging. They're games. They're challenging. They're challenging to me right now. And I don't really feel like trying to get into that. Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation, Tekken in the PlayStation, things like that. I don't really feel like putting in the effort to try to progress in those games at this point right now. I don't really feel like it. And but I do like the thought of them. I do like certain aspects of them. And I'm thinking the nostalgia isn't of me wanting to go play those games again. I don't really want to. If anything, maybe EverQuest, but I kind of feel like I'm played out of EverQuest. I don't really feel like I need to play it anymore. So it's more now, it's just this encompassing nostalgia. Maybe it's a bacteria infecting my gut that's causing it. Obviously that feeling started when I was young, holding my number 2, so that could easily be some type of bacteria that's overgrowing, causing these feelings. But I don't necessarily think that's completely the case. Maybe it is to a slight degree. But what I really think it is especially when you reach this stage of just a general nostalgia, I feel like it's inspiration is what it really is. You're frustrated. I do think a lot of people if you Google nostalgia or gaming nostalgia, you find people like quitting video games, how to overcome nostalgia, stuff like that. So that was really interesting to see that other people also feel the same way. I kind of knew they did. I knew people have nostalgia for games, but I didn't know that I could really find that type. Like if I typed in game nostalgia, I'd actually find some stuff, and I definitely did. They definitely say it's born out of a place of frustration. But the thing is, I don't look back at my past. I don't want to go back and be a kid anymore. Honestly, I don't. I have more ideas, more inspiration, more aspirations than I did back then. I like being an adult, but at the same time, I am frustrated. I work at a job, and the company is not a company I'd ever want to start. It's not a product I ever want to use. Okay, it's not really necessarily my thing. But so there is that sense of frustration of I want to improve things there. I want to make things better. I want to make it great, definitely. And definitely a lot of people do rely on this product. And I do want to make it great, but it's not my choice of what I'd want to be doing necessarily. So there is some frustration, and I'm obviously spending 40 hours a week or whatever there, and I don't necessarily have the energy to do much outside of that. That's just one of the things. And even before I was working, didn't necessarily have much energy to do anything then really either. So it's darned if you do, darned if you don't kind of thing. But at the same time, there is a frustration there. So I do think that nostalgia can be born out of frustration, but I think it's a cure. I think nostalgia is a cure for frustration. It's a path. It's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a hope. Nostalgia can be a hope to overcome the current frustration. For example, if I am passionate enough about something, maybe I can make something happen and make a business for myself. So that would be the inspiration factor. Not necessarily wanting to go back to the past. I don't want to go back to the past. I don't want to play those games anymore. But what the nostalgia is picking the good parts. It's picking the good parts out of your past or your experiences, and it's putting it right there in front of you. Like people say that nostalgia is like rose-colored glasses, right? That you're looking through rose-colored glasses. Sure, yeah, it is. It definitely is. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You're seeing right in front of your eyes. You're seeing all of the good things about that game or whatever it is. Not necessarily a game. Whatever it is, all the good things about it. That's good, right? If you're trying to innovate, if you're trying to invent, if you're trying to be inspired to create something, you want to remember all the good stuff. So you can make your new thing all of the good stuff of the old thing, none of the bad, right? That's a generational thing. I'm using gaming a lot because I guess I'm into gaming. I really have not been the biggest gamer, the best gamer. My brother was way better at games than I was. He was younger than me, he was the one who beat games. I was the one who just tinkered around like an idiot. Okay, I'm not that good at games. All right. So anyway, if my brother was anything, it would be what is that called? OCD, like where he had to get everything mastered, he had to beat every level, he had to achieve all of the achievements in each level. For me, I was ADD, he was OCD, I was ADD, like, oh, I want to go here, and I want to go here, I'm going to do a little bit of this, I'm going to do a little bit of that. So I was the ADD, he was the OCD. But anyway, what I was getting at is it's inspiration, and you use that as inspiration to create something better, like what I was saying, the generations. The first generation of MMORPGs was pure text-based, right? I couldn't get into that, okay? You have the text-based. There's some people that could get into that, role-playing and text, like typing out, Argor joins the party, things like that. I couldn't get into that, okay? The next generation of MMORPGs was like this little character on a screen moving single squares and stuff and things like that. I couldn't get into that either, okay? But the third generation was 3D MMORPGs. EverQuest was basically the first. There was maybe one or two before it, I don't remember their names, but 3D first person. You're looking through the eyes of the character, okay? 3D, you can move in any direction. Go anywhere you want. Open world, 3D, open world, first person, MMO, RPG, okay? Now I can get into that, okay? But how did that get invented? Did that come from nowhere? No. The people who played the types of MMOs before, the people who played the types before the one I played, they had nostalgia, but they couldn't go back to play the old game, but they remembered the good parts about it, and they used that as inspiration to create the next generation of MMOs that appealed to more people, because there were little smidgets that they liked from those old MMOs, okay? And even before that, there was D&D, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, what people do is they remember those smidgets of amazing times, and they have those in their mind. They create something totally new with totally new technology, taking all the boundaries away. This is how you create a new generation. It's not about creating a new game. It's about creating a new generation of a genre, okay? Maybe somebody's even bigger than that and creating an entirely new genre. I'm not that big, but I guess what I am big enough to do is create a new generation of a genre, okay? I'm not here to create a game. Anybody can do that, okay? Or a lot of people can, okay? I'm here to create a new generation in a genre, all right? Now, so that's what they did. They remembered. They had that love. They had that nostalgia. They had that passion. They had that inspiration from what really affected them in their younger years. They carried that forward and took all of the good that's just in their mind's eye right there, all that nostalgia goggles, all the rose-colored goggles, all the things they remember, and they took those and they funneled it into a totally new direction, using brand new technology, using the best of everything. Where we are at right now, funneling all that good things from nostalgia into it and creating something amazing. They created EverQuest. And that definitely changed my life. It definitely affected me because I've been thinking about it ever since. Same with Diablo 2, same with Diablo 1, same with Twisted Metal on PlayStation. A lot of games definitely affected me. And yeah, so anyway, I think nostalgia is a good thing. Definitely just keep it growing. You don't have to go back to play those games. It's not going to scratch the itch. It's not going to... The only thing that will is you're creating a new experience, a new, maybe a new game, maybe a whole new redesigned generation of game. And it's difficult. You have to get people around you that can help you make that a reality, because it's one thing to make a game with a current engine like Unity or something, but if you're trying to make, using, let's say, an RPG pack that somebody already made with spells and everything. But if you're trying to do a totally new thing, it's going to take a lot more coding, a lot more expertise, so it's difficult to do. But if there's a will, there's a way, right? So anyway, that is my view on nostalgia. It can be in any field, not just games. This is just my own passion, but it can be in any field. Use that nostalgia to remember. I mean, you know, people take for granted that nostalgia is remembering something. That's great. Having memory is amazing. Use that to create the next generation of product that takes all of the good and hope tries to leave behind all the bad, and use the brand new technology to make something totally new, totally different. So anyway, thanks for watching. I am the Nature Hacker. Let's do work.